Pardon me. Anyway, here we are then. Penultimate race of Tier 1, or IFC even. And we've got Abu Dhabi. And this could be a championship deciding race. The conditions that we need, so currently the championship standings are looking as it stands. We've got Mazepin in P1 with 187 points, and right behind him with the exact same amount of points is Karsi. But Mazepin is currently winning on countback because he's got more wins. So if Mazepin wins today's race and has the fastest lap along with pole position, and Karsi gets 0 points, then Mazepin will be champion, no matter what. So he could wrap it up today, but we'll have to see if Karsi can take it to the next round. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. We've got the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, obviously a fan favourite to some, I guess. Other people, not the best. Q1 underway then. So we've got 3 qualifying sessions. Q1, where we decide the top 15 to get through into Q2. Then we have them 15 drivers to go head to head to get into the top 10 for a top 10 shootout in Q3. And then we have a race of 29 laps. So it's going to be an interesting race. We've got a Red Bull coming out first. I'm guessing that's Croaky, as usual. Right, tyres. We've got a lot of people on softs, a couple on mediums. Who's that? We've got Mr. Koa coming at the exit of the pit lane in the Alfa Romeo. He's looking to get a couple more points, move up a couple of positions in the standings, and possibly put his team a couple of positions higher in the constructors' standings as well. Seems like it's going to be a almost night race. We've got, I think, who's this? Taylor, Scully are disconnected, unfortunately. Along with Monumental, Lau. A lot of people disconnecting. I'm not sure what's happened here. But yeah, it's going to be Mr. Koa, followed up by Lauda. Then we've got Dracaris. I don't know why people are leaving. Have we got some sort of lobby restart? Restart. We've got a lobby restart, that's why. Yeah, so it seems like we're restarting because it's not midnight. Oh, just great, just great. Space for reserve? You'll have to let us down on that one. I don't think there is actually. We've got 19 drivers and then Eli's coming late, so no, Sion, I don't think there is. Oh, here we go then. So yeah, it's going to be a full grid, 20 drivers. Just waiting for Eli, who's going to join later on. We've got Monumental in an Alfa Atari, Mazepin in the Ferrari, Noel in the Mercedes, Atom in the Alpine, Jesper in the Mercedes, Zaki in the McLaren, Croaky in a Red Bull, Taylor in the Williams, Ryan in the Alfa Romeo, Nick in the Aston Martin, Mr. Koa in the Alfa Romeo, AJ Nolan in the AlphaTauri, Lau, I can't remember, I think he was in the Aston, got Alpine driver FZ, Lauda in the Red Bull, Otis in the Haas, Scully in the Haas as well, so just waiting for 2 more drivers, and then there's Eli to eventually turn up. Karsi one of the championship rivals of Mazepin has joined. Lau goes in the Ferrari. And we now have all 20 drivers as Jacques gets back to getting the Aston Martin. So we should be able to go now, hopefully. Right, here we go then. Qualifying 1 about to get underway yet again. Should be a dry qualifying and a dry race. No unexpected rain to be coming on the way. Here we go then. Qualifying 1 about to get underway for the second time. So no one disconnects on the way. Oh, Scully's disconnected. That happened to him yesterday, I'm pretty sure as well. Unfortunate. But here we are then, 18 minutes on the clock. And we're just waiting for the drivers to come out onto the track for their first runs of qualifying. Got 19 drivers in total. Should be 20 as soon as Eli joins. Seems like there's a Red Bull starting up. Guessing that's Croaky. Either Croaky or Lauda, one of the two. Scully's joined back. Got Lauda coming out first, so Lauda will be the first one out on track. Does he get beaten by a Haas though? No, it's an Alfa Romeo, but no, he does not. So we've got Lauda, first person to get out onto the track and set a banker lap for qualifying 1. He's probably hoping that he's just going to have to get through on the one set of tyres in that Red Bull. Obviously, the team that have just won the Spanish Grand Prix just gone by. So, congratulations to them and Max Verstappen, yet again. Obviously, this track has a lot of history around it. There's obviously the controversial race back in 2021 where Max Verstappen chucked the championship, 8th World Championship from Lewis Hamilton on the last lap. We have the first ever race was held in 2008. I'm not sure, don't remember who won that race, but it was quite an interesting race, I'm pretty sure. We had Nico Rosberg unfortunately losing the championship because his engine wasn't working properly. So I don't know. Pretty sure that happened anyway. Monumental's crashed. He's crashed on the main straight. I'm not sure how he's managed to do that, but he has. Lauda now coming through the final sector. Obviously very twisty, and it's been reprofiled since 2021. Oh, Scully's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane, it seems. So that's unfortunate for the Haas driver. He will not be taking part in any more qualifying. But Lauda about to start his first lap of qualifying. Starting his lap now. You want to take a wide entry. A little bit of a slide there. So not the best start to his lap. He's going to go all the way to the right. Take a little bit of curb. You want to turn in just before the 50-meter board. Take a little bit of curb on the outside. Now we've got to be careful of these curbs because they can spit you off just like that. And that is a prime example of how not to do turn 1, turn 2. And Lauda's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. So I'm not sure what is going on here, but it seems like drivers get disqualified left, right and centre. So Not sure. Otis Beckmars though, he's done a 17.5 first sector. He could definitely improve on that on some soft tyres, which he's on right now. Seems like a couple of people have gone out on inters just to make sure all their gear is working, because one thing you don't want to have is either your steering wheel, your pedals just not working on your lap. Otis Beckmars taking the esports line. He's taken out 2 of the brake marker boards there, so that might be a little bit of a penalty if so. It takes a lot of curb on the exit, opens DRS all the way down this straight, keeps it tight to the left. It's going to be a 53.4 in the middle sector, so not the best of laps so far. It's going to be in around about the 24s unless he has a great final sector. Takes a lot of exit curbs going through the banking. Now through the right, you've got to make sure you get that hooked up. Be careful through this section. It's very easy to spin on these brand new curbs. Get as close as you can to the white lines, and he's got close to them, but that's too close, and he's smacked the wall, and he's going to come into the pits. So that is unfortunate news for the Haas. Oh no, he's not going to come into the pits. He's overshot. So that's unfortunate. We've got Otis Beckmars, who's just finished a lap, but FZ goes faster. The 24.5, so he's obviously made a mistake on that lap. Zaki does 25 dead. We've got a Ferrari, who's just starting a lap, it seems. Got a Mercedes, I'm pretty sure that's Niall. Where is he? There he is. He's just about to start a lap on some mediums. Carsey, he seems to be on a lap, going through the last sector on some medium tyres. Can he get ahead of FZ? We'll have to see. Takes a little bit of exit, get close to the white lines. Now a lot of exit curb coming through this final corner. Make sure you get on the power as soon as possible. Take a bit of exit curb across the line. It's a 24.2. So it's a pretty decent banker time on them medium tyres. We've got a... Yep, it was Atom that just went across the line, but he's on some intermediate tyres, so it's not going to be a representative time at all. Nick coming through the final sector now. What can he do? He's on some medium tyres, and he's made a mistake somewhere. And it's cost him quite a bit. We've got a spinner. I'm not sure who that is. It's Mr. Core in the final sector. I think he's just had a little bit of an issue. We've got Dracaries next across the line on the lap. He's on some soft tyres. He now barrels down into turn 1. It's a 24.3. Goes into P2. He might be safe with that time. It's going to be close towards the end. Got Otis Beckmars, who's going to come into the pits. A whole gaggle of cars all behind Croaky here. I'm not sure what is happening. Zaki is going to come into the pits. Croaky rounding the final corner. He's on some intermediates though, so it's not going to be representative. Mazepin goes up into P2 behind his championship rival by 1/10 of a second in that Ferrari. No, not even that. Half a tenth it was, separating the top two. They're nose to tail at the moment. Niall is coming round the penultimate corners to finish his lap. He's not had the best of middle sectors at all. He's obviously made a mistake somewhere across the line. It's a 25.1. Goes up into P6. He probably won't be safe with that time. We've got a Williams who's going to come into the pits. I'm pretty sure that was Carsey. Then got Alpine somewhere. It's Atom coming into the pits on some of them intermediate tyres. Zaki has spun coming out of the final corner, so he's not going to set a good lap at all. He's damaged a little bit of his front wing. His end plate has come off. We've got Nick rounding the final corner. He goes fastest with a 23.9 on some medium tyres. So Nick in the Aston Martin fastest at the moment in that number 7 AlphaTauri. Mr. Cole has just gone into P6. Decent lap from him. Dracaries is going to come into the pits. Mazepin as well, I think. Unless he's on a flyer right now. He might be actually coming round the penultimate corner. No, he's going to peel his way into the pit lane. Got his teammate Lau coming around the final corner. Let's see what time he can do. He's got a 23.6. Very nice lap. Goes up into P1. Provisionally though, he's still got a lot of drivers to complete laps yet. Niall, it seems like he's just preparing for yet another lap. He's in neutral, trying to gain back some ERS. As you know, that does work on the F1 game. And he's gained it all back instantly. So, that's, if you ever want to know how to do it, there you go. Niall's just told us how to. Taylor in the middle sector, he's not on a good lap at all. I love how it says on the track map that he's gone purple in the middle sector, and he clearly hasn't. Otis Beckmars, he's on an outlap it seems. Not Mr. Koa, he's going to come into the pits. He's just passing Aston Martin of Nick, who's going to come into the pits as well. Lau, he's going to come in. So we've got, that's Jesper just on an outlap. Alpine, pretty sure that is Atom, who's on an outlap. So the next person to cross the line will be Niall, and he's done a 17.9 in the first sector, and he's down by a half a tenth, opening his DRS now all the way down the back straight of the track. Barreling down into the chicane. He's got to get this right. Obviously the brake marker boards will not be there to help him, so he's just going to have to guess, and he's almost got it right. A little bit deep into that corner. Now coming through this section down the straight. Opens DRS for the second time on his lap. Middle sector split. Keeps it tight to the left. What's it going to be? It's a 53.7. He's a tenth up on his time. So this will not put him anywhere. It might put him just ahead of Zaki. He hasn't got traffic as the Alpine moves out of the way. Coming round the final sector now, Niall is coming through the right hand. It takes a lot of curb. Now coming through the double left. Be careful you don't spin. He hasn't done that at all. He's not done Nicholas Latifi either. He crashed into the barrier. Through the double right now, we've got a lovely shot of the Mercedes coming round the final corner. We'll see what time he does on them medium tyres. It's a 25 dead. He doesn't move any positions, but he does improve on his personal best time. Got Otis Beckmars, who needs this lap as he's in 10th place and definitely not safe with that time. It's a 25 something. No, 28 something. Through the final sector now, he hasn't managed to invalidate his lap, which is very crucial you need to do. In that number 28 Haas coming around the final corner now. What can he do? Got a decent shot. Oh, big snap, but he's gone P4, even with a very hairy exit there. He's 6.5 tenths off Lau's time at the moment. We've got, who's that? That's Ryan, who's just starting a lap in the Alfa Romeo. The Red Bull of Croaky coming around the final couple of corners. He's not on a lap right now. He's just preparing for his flyer. Niall is coming into the pits. Got Atom on a lap. It seems he's 1.7 seconds up, so we'll see what he can do. But we've got Jesper first, coming round the double left. Doesn't invalidate, takes a lot of exit. I don't know what you could call that. Anyway, takes a lot of exit curb through the penultimate corner. Now rounding the final corner in that Mercedes. Across the line, it's a 23.9. Goes up into P3, 5 thousandths behind Nick, it seems. We've got Atom next across the line. He's just gone up into P9, 1.1 seconds off Lau's time. So it seems like Lau will be through at this rate with his time. We've got Zaki on outlap. He's just about to start one. Otis Beckmars, he's going to come into the pits. The AlphaTauri of AJ Nolan, he seems to be on a lap. He's on a 53.5 in the middle sector. It's not the best so far, but we'll see if he can improve through the final sector. Rounding the final corner, all the way down to the start-finish line, it's a 24.5. Goes up into P8, just ahead of FZ. We've got Croaky next across the line. He's 4 seconds up on his time, so this will not be a representative one just yet, but he's got the final sector to go. Round in the final corner, takes a lot of exit curb across the line. It's 24.6, goes up into P10, only about a tenth ahead of Atom there, so he might need to go again on a set of soft tyres, but we've got 3 drivers who are already out. Ryan, he goes up into P15, but that's not a representative time at all. Atom, he seems to be on an in-lap. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is probably the calm period. We're just waiting for people to come back into the pits, get some new tyres onto the car, and then they will be back out onto the track. Got Taylor, who will be on a lap. It seems he's done a 54.1 in the middle sector, so it's definitely not very good. Oh, he's having a lot of issues coming through here, so yeah, it's possibly not a lap, and he's invalidated, so it's definitely not having a good time is Taylor with about 6 minutes left in the session, so he will be able to get another time in. We've got AJ Nolan coming around the middle sector. He doesn't seem to be on a lap. Neither is Croaky, who's going to come into the pits. So the next person is Ryan, but he's invalidated. So this is probably a section where you can put your feet up, just wait for the drivers to come out of the pits. I've got a couple coming out now. It's Niall on some soft tyres this time, so we'll see what he can do. He's 1.3 seconds off Lau in P1, so he will need this time if he wants to secure his place into the top 15. Obviously for Q1 through the hairpin. Just wait for him to finish the out lap and then he can start his lap. So, I'm going to put some bold predictions in here. I think we're going to have Carsey on pole position. Not really bold, to be honest. Mazepin P2. Again, not bold. But I think that Lau is going to pull one out of the bag and get P3. I don't think we've seen Lau the entire season in Tier 1, so be interesting to see what he can do in the Alpha... No, he's in a Ferrari, actually. So the Scuderia, obviously the team with the most pressure on them, over 70 years in the sport. Oh, Nick and Carsey have retired in the pits. So they think they are through to the next part of qualifying. I thought they'd crashed. But Niall about to start his lap. He will need this one. Jesper also retires. He thinks he is through. So this is going to be an audio lap. Enjoy the entire lap with the V6 hybrid engine from Mercedes. There we go then. Niall goes for P4 with a 24 dead. Got Otis Beckmars next across the line. Doesn't seem like he's improving on his laps just yet. He doesn't improve. He's 13 thousandths off, unfortunately for him. Got Croaky seems to be just starting his lap, so he will be the next person to cross the line. Down says Nick to win. Now, you can't. That is easy to presume, to be honest. He is in P2 on medium tyres. He's only 3/10 off provisional pole position. He's set a pretty decent time on them medium tyres, so I see what you mean by that. Croaky through the first corner, gets it hooked up nicely, takes a lot of exit curb. Now coming through turn 3 and turn 2 and turn 3, gets a lot of curb. Esports line he seems to be taking. He's a 17.4 through the first sector, only just faster than what Niall did on his lap. Now you got to get a good exit all the way down this straight, so then, well, you get the higher top speed. DRS wide open for the Red Bull. All the time he will be gaining speed down the straight. Brakes hard for this chicane. Make sure you don't overshoot, otherwise it will be costly. Get on the power as soon as possible. Open DRS all the way down this straight. It's important to get a good exit out of that chicane. He does a 53 dead, so he's currently about 300ths up on Niall's middle sector here. Takes a lot of exit curb. You've got to get a very decent exit as you've got this little straight before the twisty section of sector 3. Get it hooked up onto these apexes. You can touch them a little bit, just don't ride them too much, otherwise it will spin the car to get quite close to the white line there. Now coming round the penultimate corner, gets it hooked up nicely. Make sure you can get it to the apex of the last corner across the line. It's a 24 dead, goes up into P5, literally 9 thousandths behind Niall there. So a very good lap. Ryan goes up into P1. What a lap from the Alfa Romeo driver. You can tell that he's happy with that one. It's a 23.2, so it's a very good lap there. It seems like Taylor's just gone up into P15, punching down Mr. Coa into the bottom 5. And Mr. Coa invalidated on his lap, so he's going to have to go again. Does he have the ERS to do so? Yes, he does. So he will be alright in that terms. Nolan just starting a lap. Zaki's going to come into the pits, so a little bit risky there, but he might be through with that time. Otis Beckmar's next across the line. He's going to open his DRS all the way down this straight for the Haas team. Let's see what his middle sector split is like. It's going to be a 53.5. He's 2 tenths down on his time, so he will not improve at this rate. We've got a lot of drivers really close. Carsey down to Drakery, separated by 700ths. Now that is what you want to see in league racing. A lot of tight drivers so close together. Takes a lot of curb, does Otis, coming through that section. He's almost invalidated. He went off the track a little bit through the penultimate corner, gets it nicely to the apex, and he's coming into the pits. Well, Croaky's going to come into the pits as well. FZ, he seems to be not on a lap just yet. We've got his teammate Atom, who does need this lap. He's 4 tenths up, so this will put him around about P12 to P8 in the, around about that territory. We'll see what he can do. Rounding the penultimate corner, now the final one. We've got... Anyway, across the line goes Atom. He's gone up into P6, just behind Jesper, and splits the 2 Mercedes, it seems. So good lap from him. AJ Nolan next across the line. He needs this lap. He wants to secure his position, and he doesn't improve. Mr. Coa will be out, and Taylor is through. So we've got Mr. Coa, Monumental, Lauda, and Scully all out of qualifying 1. It's unfortunate for Scully and Lauda, as they got a terrible luck with, well, the game just being a little bit stupid, to be honest. He got disqualified for blocking the pit lane, apparently, which makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, there we go. I've said it again. Ryan, P1, the Englishman, followed by the Swedman of Lau, the Frenchman of FZ in P3, the Dutchman of Nick in P4, followed by his fellow Dutchman, Jesper, in P5, the Austrian of Atom in P6, the Frenchman of Niall in P7, the Englishman of Croaky in P8, Northern Irishman of Carsey P9, and the other Swede of Otis Betmars in P10. The Brit, Zaki Boy, P11. The Slovakian, I think. I'm not too good with my flags. But Mazepin in P12. Got the another Brit of Drakery's P13. Nolan P14. Taylor, the Australian, in P15. Mr. Coa, Monumental, Lauda, and Scully all out of the session. So there we go then. Top 15 through to qualifying 2 to try and get through into the top 10 shootout. Big names gone. Scully, he came P2 yesterday in Tier 2. He's a very good championship contender. Anyway, 15 minutes on the clock for qualifying 2, ready to get us underway. Who's going to be the first person to come out onto the track? Who is going to get through and who is going to be out? We'll have to see at the end of this 15-minute session. Don't seem like anyone's going to in a rush to get out, but it's going to be Croaky, it seems, the first person to get out onto the track. Unless there is anyone else. Doesn't seem like there is just yet. So yeah, it will be Croaky, the first person to come out onto the track. Yes, it will. Followed up by Alpine. Pretty sure that is FZ. Yes, it is. So we've got Croaky and FZ, first people to set lap times in the representative for their representative teams, Red Bull and Alpine. So now I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna have the bottom 5 being Zaki. This is tough to call, you know. Taylor, unfortunately for him. Atom, possibly. Croaky might scrape through, same with Niall. Two quite quick drivers. Yeah, it's too tight to call, really. It's too tight to call who the slower people are compared to the fast people, but that is what it's all about in league racing. You've got to have people who are on the limits of their times, and it seems like they're going to be on the limits, not this session, but next session. Qualifying 2, obviously, just to a little bit faster is what you want to go than qualifying 1. I'm not sure if Ryan can go much faster. He might have quite a bit of time in his lap, because he did a 23.2. A very nice lap time for qualifying 1. We'll have to see what he can do in qualifying 2. Anyway, Croaky about to start his lap. Yeah, again, this will be, instead, it'll be an onboard audio up lap. So, enjoy this one around the circuit of Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. FZ's now been disqualified because he's spun and blocked the pit lane, so I don't know what's happening here. Oh! Croaky has bottled it at the final corner. He's lost all of his front wing, so that's unfortunate for him and the Red Bull team. He just sets a 31.8, so that's obviously not a representative time at all. We've got Mazepin, who's just set a 23.5. Can his teammate Lau beat him? He's just starting the lap, actually. FZ, not sure if he, I think he just did, oh no, it's not one FZ, it was Atom. FZ's been disqualified, unfortunately. We've got Nick, who's just starting a lap, so it's going to be Dracker, he's next across the line, but he's coming into the pits. Not sure what's just happened there. Jesper, he's going to come into the pits as well, so a lot of people are abandoning their laps. Ryan, now coming around the penultimate corner, the final corner. We'll see what he can do. He's miles off his Q1 lap, 1.4 seconds off. So that's unfortunate for him. It's a second off his fellow Ferrari Driver Academy driver in P1 as it stands. We've got Otis Beckmars next across the line in the Haas. Oh, Williams has gone hitting the wall and he's going to come into the pits. It was Carsey that went sliding a little bit there. He has not damaged his front wing, luckily for him, but he might have a little bit of confidence. Well, the confidence might go down a little bit. Niall goes P3 with a 25.1. So these times, obviously, not the best, as they probably will be on a used set of tyres. Got a couple of people going slow. It's the two Ferraris. Lau is next across the line. We'll see what he can do. Coming round the final corner now in the number 50 Ferrari. What is it going to be? It's a 23.4. Goes up into P1 just ahead of his teammate. Can he be beaten by Atom? No, he can't. Atom goes into P3 for now. We'll see what everyone else can do. Taylor is on a lap, but first, yeah, it will be Taylor actually next. So we'll go on board. Oh, Nick's just gone P2. 500ths behind Lau. Eli, yes, it has. We've had some randoms join the session, so I'm pretty sure your seat will be taken, unfortunately for you. So, very sorry about that. Taylor now around the final corner. It's a 24.7. Goes up into P6, just behind Ryan. Got an AlphaTauri of Nolan just starting a lap on some medium tyres, it seems. So, pretty interesting strategy for them. Niall, he is coming through the final sector, just about to come into the pit lane. Got a couple of people just coming round to come into the pits. I think that one of them is Lau, our provisional pole position sitter. But we've obviously got people like Ryan who can go a lot faster, as he's shown in qualifying 1. Who else have we got on laps? We've got... Seems like Jespev's just starting a lap. We've got Zaki who's an out lap. Same with Carsey. So I think it's Taylor next across the line, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not. He's not on a good lap at all. So it's going to be AJ Nolan, unless... Let me just check. These lot are on laps, actually. Nick's going to come into the pits. Yes, he is. Same with... Jespev's just about to start his lap, actually. We've got Carsey just starting lap, Zaki starting one. So yes, it will be Nolan next to cross the line through the final sector now. We'll see what he can do. Unfortunately, like, I'm pretty sure, unless the randoms leave, your seat will be taken. Let me just check. Is it available? Don't think so, unfortunately. We got AJ Nolan coming around the final corner now. We'll see what he can do across the line. It's a 24.6, goes up into P5, only just ahead of Ryan though. So I'm guessing these are used tyres that the drivers are opting to use. We've got an Aston Martin of Dracaris who's just about to start a lap. The Mercedes of Jesper will be next across the line as he comes down into the chicane. Let's see what happens. That's a lovely helmet, all pink with, I think, that's with blue, white and red stripes all over it. So, very nice helmet for the Mercedes driver. It's a 53.2 in the middle sector. Very nice middle sector. He's managed to get his lap hooked up so far. We'll see if he can hook up the final sector. Got it coming through the double right now. He gets this corner nicely, gets the car hooked up to the apex, and he swings it left now for the double left-hander. Gets it nice, takes a lot of exit curbs, so you can tell that he's on the limit of what his car can possibly do. Rounding the final corner, let's see what Jasper can do. Where can he go on the leaderboard? He goes 5th with a 24.1, so a very decent lap from him. Ryan rounding the final corner now. Can he match his Q1 lap? No, he can't. It's just starting one. Not sure what I'm on about. Kuroki has invalidated. We've got a championship contender, Carsey, coming round the penultimate corner. He needs this lap to try and get ahead of his championship rival, Mazepin, who could win the championship this race. He's on a 24.7. Goes up into P4 as it stands. 2/10 off Mazepin. Zaki goes up into P7. Very nice lap from the McLaren driver. We've got Nolan coming round the final corners now. He's coming into the pits. Otis Beckmars isn't though. Oh yes he is. Ignore me, I guess. Dracaris coming around the final couple of corners. We'll see what he can do. He's on some soft tyres across the line. It's a 23.9. Just goes ahead of Atom in the Alpine. Got Jesper next across the line. He's 2.6 seconds off his time though, so it's definitely not a lap time. Same with Ryan. Actually, Ryan's on a good lap. He's 5/10 up on his time, so this could be a provisional pole lap time if he gets the final sector nice and clean. Swings it left now for the double left-hander under the hotel bridge. Now we'll see what Ryan can do through the final sequence of corners. The double right-hander, the fast one, flat out, and now we brake. Hard braking for that right-hander. Across the line, it's a 22.9. What a lap from Ryan there. He goes up into a P1 provisional pole position. So that's a very nice lap there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Carsey comes into the pits. We've got Mercedes of Niall, who seems to be just preparing a lap. Kuroki seems to be preparing a lap as well. Seems like he's... Zaki has actually come into the pits. Never mind, I thought it was maybe a little bit of blocking going on, but no, Zaki's going to come into the pits. Dracaris is not on a lap, so next best across the line will be Niall. Coming through the first couple of corners, gets it nice to the apexes. First sector split. It's a 17.4. He's 3/10 up on his time, and that will not put him anywhere. But he's still got 2/3 of the lap to go. Opens DRS, barreling down into the chicane. He might have the brake marker boards to help him, as he doesn't use line. He does not. So he's just going to have to guess where to brake, and he gets it nicely, actually, to the apex. He perfected his braking point through the chicane, opening DRS to barrel down into the new banking section introduced for the 2021 Grand Prix. Middle sector split is a 53.2. He's 4.5 tenths up on his time, so this could be a very nice lap so far from Niall. But you never know what could happen. Through the final sector now, can he get this right? Yes, he can. For now, through the left, he gets hooked up to them apexes real nice. Now, 2 more corners to go before he can move up a couple of positions. Round the final corner, he needs this lap to get out of the bottom 5. What's it going to be? It's a 24 dead. Goes up into P7, just ahead of Atom by 200. We've got Croaky in the Red Bull next to cross the line. What can he do? He's going to go P7, just ahead of Niall by 10 thousandths even. So, it's a very good lap there from Croaky. Carsey's retired. Otis Beckmars has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Lauda has retired as well, along with Ryan. They obviously think they are through into the next part of qualifying. I don't understand. I think this session is lagging out, to be honest, because they shouldn't be getting disqualified just for blocking the pit lane a little bit. Like, drivers are spinning at turn 3, ending up where the pit lane exit is, and they're being disqualified for it. So, you know, it's unbelievable, to be honest. I can't believe any of this. Is Taylor on a lap? No, he's not. He'll be the first person to start one, I'm pretty sure. 1 minute and a half left of qualifying 2 before we can tell you who is going to be knocked out. So we've obviously got the bottom 2 of FZ and Otis Beckmars. Unlucky for them that they've been disqualified. There you go then, Taylor. You can enjoy this lap. I'm just checking some Discord stuff, so audio up for this entire lap. See what Taylor can do. Taylor goes up into P11. He is out of qualifying, unfortunately. Jesper is... Niall, actually, he's just gone up... He's not improved on his lap. We've got... Aston Martin, who's next to cross the line. Dracaris, he doesn't seem to be on a lap. We've got Jesper next to cross the line, though. Jesper goes P10. He gets himself out of the relegation zone. Oh, no, actually, he doesn't, actually. Nolan needs his lap, though, to get out of the bottom 5. He's 4 tenths up on his time, so this might put him through. Eli's joined, so he might get his seat. I'm not sure if some people joined before though, some random people. Anyway, final corner, they might have left. We'll see what happens for AJ Nolan. Can he get out? Yes, he can. Jesper has been knocked out. So we've got Jesper, Taylor, Zaki, Otis, and FZ all out of qualifying 2. So the top 10 as it stands: Ryan, Nick, Mazepin, Lau, Atom, Carsey, Nolan, Dracaris, Croaky, and Niall, all fighting it out for pole position. Shock horror, BRT fastest. So there we go then. Ryan up in P1 yet again with an even faster time than his qualifying 1 lap. First person into the 1 minute 22s. Got Nick in P2, Mazepin P3 with his teammate right behind him P4, Atom P5, the Williams driver Carsey in P6, Nolan P7, Dracaris P8, Croaky P9, and Niall scrapes through in P10. Fortunately, his teammate Jesper is out, along with Taylor, Zaki Boy, and 2 people that unfortunately got disqualified, Otis Betmars and FZ, all because the game is done. Very good. Here we go then. 12 minutes on the clock for qualifying 3. To decide who is going to start on pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. 12 minutes then, obviously, on the clock for the final session of qualifying before we can start the long race. 29 laps for these drivers to get through. It's going to be tough, especially with some of the curbs on this game, such as turn 1, possibly turn 3, along with the double left-hander. So we've got a Williams of Carsey, the first person to come out onto the track. He wants to get pole position, so then he can possibly challenge for the championship next race. Haven't been here in a while. Well, welcome back, Caleb. So Carsey will be the first person to start his lap. We'll see what he can do in that Williams. He's been fast all season long. So can't wait to see what he can do in this. He's possibly been sandbagging a little bit, just not showing 100% pace throughout the whole of qualifying. But this is where it matters. These drivers need to go flat out till the end of this qualifying session. Carsey looking to take another championship to add to his tally, but we'll have to see what he can do. So it's going to be Carsey, first person to cross the line, followed by Dracaris. We've then got Mazepin behind him, along with Atom in the Alpine. We've then got Lau, AJ Nolan, the other Aston Martin of Nick, the Red Bull of Croaky, and Brian and Ryan even. Anyway, Carsey now starts his lap on board with the driver for this whole thing. Take a wide line into the entry. Oh, he's knocked the 50-meter board out there. That's not going to be helpful for some of the drivers. Here we go then. Turn 2 and turn 3. Get it hooked up nicely. Takes a lot of curb there, like esports drivers do. First sector split. It's a 17-3. Very nice first sector. You could be on for a pretty decent lap. Get a mega exit out of this hairpin now, because it sets you up all the way down the straight. DRS wide open all the time. Barreling down into the chicane. Make sure you get your braking point absolutely perfect. You want to brake between the 150-meter boards. Now through the chicane, gets it hooked up to the nicely, but you've got to get a good exit out of this corner, otherwise your lap might just well be over. Now we'll see what Carsey can do. Keep it tight to the left, shortest line all the way down to the new banking section. Sector 2, it says 52.7, what a middle sector. Carsey is cooking right now. We'll see what he is able to do. Rounding the final sector now. Coming through the fast right-handers, gets it to the apex. What about this double left? Gets it to them as well. Takes a little bit of the exit curb. Now, you want to get as close to that white line as possible. He does. Through the flat right-hander now. Keep it pinned all the way through. Now the final corner. Can he get this onto provisional? He's going to get it on provisional pole position. What's it going to be? It's a 23.2. Very nice lap. We've got Dracker is right behind him. He's gone P2. And then we've got Mazepin, the other championship rival. He's just behind. He's just behind his championship rival. We've got Atom, who's just coming up into P3, 1 second back. We've now got Lau in the other Ferrari. What can he do? He's a 10th up on Carsey's first sector, middle sector. Can he steal provisional pole position from the Northern Irishman? Here we go, across the line. It's a 23 dead, and he does take provisional pole position away from the Williams driver. Nolan, what can he do? Across the line, it's going to be a 26.5, so he's just preparing for yet another lap. Nick, he's got a brand new wheel, a Fanatec wheel it seems, so we'll see what he can do on the new gear. Now coming through the double left-hander. Lau has left the session, not on purpose. Now let's see what he can do, rounding the final corner. What is it going to be for Nick? It's going to be a 23 dead. He just goes ahead of Lau by half a tenth. Got Niall next across the line. He goes up into P5, 6 tenths off pole position. Croaky, what can he do across the line? It's going to be a 23.5. Ryan has gone up into P3, 800ths off pole position. So this top three separated by under a tenth. This is stupidly close. Top 5 separated by under 3 tenths. Top 6 under 5. This is really close stuff coming onto the final runs of the session. But what a great start it is for Nick on the new gear in the Aston Martin. He's done a 23.9. Ryan can go faster, as we saw in qualifying 2. He managed to get into the 1 minute 22s. So we'll see if he's able to do that yet again. He's going to need to, otherwise he will not get provisional pole position, it seems. Nolan, he's going to have to set another lap. He's not had a great first lap, and we'll have to see what he can do later on. He's obviously not happy with that. And Nick on provisional pole position. What a lap that is from Nick. He's pulled it out of the bag, and now he might just take away pole position to upset Carsey and Mazepin and not and deny them the championship just yet. Ryan needs to pull his socks up a little bit and try and get a little bit of a faster lap just to get onto pole position. 800ths is all he needs to take provisional pole position. But all the drivers peeling into the pit lane as we wait for the final runs to get underway. Whew. There we go then, all the drivers into the pit lane until we wait for their final runs of qualifying 3 to get underway. Who's going to take pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? Who is going to be disappointed and not get what they want? We'll have to find out in just a couple of moments' time. We'll have to wait about 3 minutes before the drivers come back out onto the track. I'm just trying to listen to what the commentator in the game's saying. If Sed's left the session, he's either disconnected or he's left on purpose. Here we go then. Who's the first driver to come out onto the track? It looks like it's going to be a Williams. No, it's an Aston Martin. Who is it? It's Nick, it seems. Nick is the first person to come out onto the track. He wants to get some clean air to possibly set another pole position lap time. He needs to gain just a little bit to make sure that nobody can pull out something out of the bag and storm their way into pole position. But the penultimate round of this race, possibly the fourth to last qualifying session of the season for Tier 1. So we'll see what happens. The last Q3 session in Abu Dhabi for IFC on F1 2022 before the brand new game F1 23 comes out. It seems like all the brake mods marker boards are there, apart from the 50-meter board. No brake mark. What am I saying? None of the brake marker boards are there, apart from 50 meters. It seems. So they've got a little bit of helping hand for those who don't run any line. But Nick will be the first person to set a lap time. He's going to need to improve just a little bit. Make sure that nobody pulls something out of the hat and absolutely smashes the pole position time that is currently set. So 23:017 is the time to beat for 10 drivers on the grid. 6 tenths separate the top 7, 5 separate the top 6, 3 separate the top 5. Anyway, Nick starting his lap right now. Very nice exit there of the final corner. Takes a little bit, you want to take a lot of curb coming into turn 1. No brake marker boards. He's got no indication of where to turn or brake. Now coming through turn 2. Don't clip that inside curb. You might spin. Get a lot of this curb though. He doesn't do that. So this might not be the best first sector of his life. It's a 3.55, 2 thousandths up on what he did the previous time. Gets a nice exit out of that corner though, opening DRS for the first time this lap, all the way down to the chicane. We'll see what he can do. He's got the 50-meter board as a yardstick to see where he can brake. Hooks it up into the first section of the chicane. Gets a second and lovely exit there from the Aston Martin driver. Opening DRS. Keep it tight to the left. What is his middle sector split going to be? Checkered flag has fallen in qualifying. He is 10 thousandths up. What's Carsey doing? How far is... Oh, Carsey's invalidated. Carsey is done. Best he will get is P4 in this session. So, Nick now has one less contender for pole position, and we've got quite a few yellow flags as well, so 3 people will not be getting pole position. Nick's invalidated, so that's unfortunate for him. What can Ryan do? He is 77 thousandths down on his time right now, so the pressure is getting to these drivers as Ryan now comes through the final sector. Can he steal pole position away? All he needs is to find 800 and then he will snatch away pole position from Nick. Now coming down into the penultimate corner. Keep it tight to the right. Now take a lot of exit curve to get the best entry through this corner. Across the line, what's it going to be? It's a 22, it's a 23 dead, and he takes provisional pole position. Mazepin goes up into P4. Croaky, what can he do? He goes up into P4 and beats Mazepin. Lau is done. Lau has invalidated. Dracaris is invalidated. What about Nolan? Can he possibly be a thorn in the side of Ryan? Can he take pole position away? No, he cannot. He only goes P8. We've got Niall next across the line. He's 6 seconds down, so He is done, and Atom is down on his time as well. So Ryan takes pole position for the penultimate round of the season by 14 thousandths of a second. Oh my god, what have I done? Uh-oh. Anyway, Nick is unfortunately just picked by Ryan. Lau in P3, Croaky P4, surprise from him. Mazepin P5, he will not take the championship tonight. Carsi P6, Niall P7, Nolan P8, Atom P9, and Dracaris in P10. What a qualifying session we have had, but it's going to be Ryan starting on the front row of the grid, followed up by Nick in the Aston Martin. So there we go then, Ryan on pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Is that in? There we go then, that's your top 10. Oh, for God's sake. I'll fix that later. Anyway, we've got Ryan, the Englishman, on pole position, followed by Nick in P2. Lau P3, Croaky P4, Mazepin P5. We've got Carsi P6, Niall P7, Nolan P8, Atom P9, and Dracaris rounds out top 10. Now we go to the race. 29 laps lie ahead of us for this Grand Prix. Oh. Okay, that kind of worked. Huh. If you just smack something into place, it kind of works. So here we go then. Got two more races before we crown our champion, it seems. Just wait for the drivers to take fuel out, a little bit of fuel out, put some the correct tyres on, and then we'll be underway for the formation lap here. Championship battle between Mazepin and Carsi. They are equal on points, 187 points apiece. Mazepin has more race victories though, so on countback, even if Carsi wins these final two races, Mazepin will be champion no matter if they are equal on points at the end. Formation lap is about to start. I will be back in one moment. So, the formation lap is underway for the second to last time in Season 7 for these drivers. We'll see what they can do. What tyres is everybody on? Let's have a look. There we go. Tyres, a lot of people on hards, just a couple on medium tyres. We've got Ryan looking to gain a couple of points on some people in the championship. Nick trying to get ahead of Ryan and pull away. Lau in P3 looking to possibly help his teammate to win the championship. Croaky P4 trying to get some good points for the team. Mazepin in P5 looking to extend his championship lead to Kasi. Kasi, though, is on some medium tyres, so he's looking for a flying start to get up into P1 and then possibly pull away from the pack and try and win this race. We've got Niall in P7 looking for a clean race, it seems. Nolan in P8 on some hard tyres, along with Atom in P9. Then we've got Dracaris in P10 looking to gain quite a couple more points. Jesper in P11. Taylor P12 looking to help his teammate try and win the championship. Zaki P13, he's here to have a little bit of fun. Otis in P14 looking for some more points for the Haas team. FZ looking to have a clean race, it seems, along with all the other drivers. Mr. Koa looking for a flying start and trying to gain quite a few positions. Monumental has spun. He's looking for a good race, it seems. Lauder, he is looking for a great debut race. He's starting on medium tyres, so he wants a flying start. Scully in P19 here for some fun. Tier 2 championship leader as it stands. And Eli looking for a comeback drive after missing qualifying. He's in P20. So Ryan lines up in his grid spot. Is he going to overshoot? Is anybody going to overshoot and get disqualified and have to be set back a couple of meters? We've got a spinning hasp at the back there, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Nolan's gone. Same with Zaki. A lot of people doing 360s just to try and warm them tyres up a little bit before start of this race. Dracaris has also been disqualified. It seems like Nick is kind of pointing towards Ryan here, so he's looking to try and get the jump on the Alfa Romeo. Here we go then. 5 red lights. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights on in front of the drivers for the penultimate round of the season, and it's go, go, go here in Abu Dhabi. Brilliant start from the top 2. It seems like Nick has got a little bit of a worse start. Here comes Lau now, up into P2. He's challenging for the race lead. Down the inside, he doesn't manage to get it. It seems like Kasi is being challenged by... Carsey's trying to get up a couple of positions. There's a spin towards the back. It's FZ. He's gone. Same with Lauder, it seems, at turn 3. All fine. Here comes Carsey now. Down the inside of Croaky. Braking later than the Red Bull. Seems like there's all sorts of carnage here. Here comes Carsey down the inside of his championship rival. All the way down this straight. Carsey is up into P4. What a start from him. He's gaining a couple of positions and he's trying to now get Nick up into the podium positions. These three separated by nothing, it seems. Carsey is down the inside now of Nick, but Nick has got that inside line. Switchback move from the Williams. Doesn't seem like he's managed to make it work, but he's got the better exit. He's going to go round the outside at the new banking and he gets him before the corner. Brilliant start from Carsey. 3 places gained off the start. It seems like Niall is getting pressured by Dracaris. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin. Round the outside goes Niall. He's got a little bit of a better exit, but it seems like Dracaris is still there. Up into P10. Eli has had a brilliant start. 7 places gained off the start on medium tyres. Dream start from the McLaren. Oh, contact! There was an AlphaTauri up his inside and he didn't realise it. Commentators cursed there, it seems, and Eli's gone round, but Ryan still out in the lead with a 7/10 gap to P2 of Lau. Then we've got Carsey in P3, Nick P4, Mazepin P5, Atom P6, Croaky P7, Taylor P8, Nolan P9, Dracker is right on his tail though in P10. Niall in P11, Zaki P12, Jesper P13, Mr. Koa P14. So he's got Scully right on his tail though. 210 separating them. Is the Haas going to go down the inside of this corner? No, he isn't. But Dracaris does. Dracaris is trying to get past Nolan. Seems like he has managed to get it done actually. Still side by side, and Dracaris up into P9. FZ gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Down the inside though goes the AJ Nolan. Doesn't seem like he's managed to make it work. Now Scully goes down the inside of Mr. Koa. He has made that move stick. Up into P14 goes the Haas driver. You've got Jesper next, but he's still under pressure by Mr. Koa behind him. 1/10 is all that separates these two. Here comes Mr. Koa gaining all the time. He's not gaining enough to get past. Ryan now losing quite a bit of time to Lau here. So, AJ Nolan's gone round at the banking, so that's unfortunate news for him. He's going to get overtaken by his teammate Monumental, so that is not good news whatsoever. Look at all this battling. Dracaris now right on the tail of Taylor. Dracaris is absolutely flying in this race. Is he going to dive it down the inside at the ultimate corner? He thinks about it. Carsey gets the fastest lap with a 26.9. Very nice lap there in race conditions. but it doesn't seem like Dracaris is close enough to get down the inside and make a move. Is anyone close enough? Carsey is gaining all the time on the back of Lau. Is he going to get down the inside? That's it for this game. Never racing these stupid cars again. That's fine with you, UFZ. If that's fine with, I don't blame you, to be honest. These cars are kind of terrible. Monumental has now been overtaken by Eli as Monumental has gone round. Miss Lauder has retired in the pit lane. That's unfortunate for him, as Carsey has managed to overtake Lau down the straight. So up into P2 goes the Williams driver. This is exactly what he needs to try and pull away from the pack. He's going to have DRS on Ryan. Seems like Ryan's been a little bit passive here and just letting him go. Yes, he is. So it seems like Ryan has just let Carsey go, and now he can pull off into the distance and try and build a gap to the rest of the field. We've got a lot of battling going on. Dracaris still on the back of Taylor here. 2/10 is all that separates these two. But it seems like the closest battle that we're going to watch is Lau against Ryan. These two separated by just a couple of tenths here. We'll see what they can do. Best possibly try and keep up with the pace of Carsey, although he has pulled a 7/10 gap already within the space of 1.5 a lap, it seems. New fastest lap, 26.7, set by the Williams driver on their medium tyres. So he's going to try and pull away from the rest of the pack. Oh, Lau goes wide there, and Nick has just gone down the inside, taking the opportunity round the outside now through turn 3 and up into P3. Through goes the Aston Martin, but he will not have the DRS on the Alfa Romeo ahead. So can Lau just breeze past him yet again on the straight? He might be able to at the rate he is going. There he goes, opening DRS open, gaining all the time on the Aston Martin, not close enough to go down the inside at the chicane. Is anyone close enough? Dracaris might be, just not. Actually, it's not, just about. But we've got Zaki right on the tail. Oh, Croaky's crashed. Croaky has crashed at the exit of the chicane, it seems. He's just spun at the exit, and that's a full course safety car. So not the news that Carsey wants at all. Croaky Spinsicle has spun yet again. Oh, what a thrilling start to the race. There we go then. Carsey into the pit lane, it seems. He's going to bolt on a set of hard tyres, I presume. We'll have to see what the Williams crew decide to put on his car. And yes, it is hard tyres. Is it going to be a 2-stop race? Eli gets a penalty. 2 penalties. One for exceeding track limits and the other for speeding in the pit lane. So I'm guessing that 3-second will be removed because he got it while coming into the pit lane. But it's Ryan back in the lead of the race. We'll just have to see if he can pull away a little bit more from the rest of the pack. But this is now the period where I'm going to be silent. You can enjoy the sound of cars as my voice has gone, to be honest. So here we go then, safety car in this lap. We are going to have 22 laps of racing to decide the race winner here. So we've got Ryan out in P1. He'll be looking to extend the gap to the rest of the field, but it might be difficult. Nick is a very fast driver behind him, so you never know what he will be able to do. It seems like Ryan's going to leave this as late as possible to gun it, basically, and just go and try and catch some of the drivers out, it seems. It's going to be difficult, obviously. The tyres might be a little bit cold. Carsey will be one to watch on them new hard tyres, and he's gone now. It doesn't seem like he's caught much people out. Now is right on the tail of Nick there. He's had a pretty decent safety car restart. Zaki boy has gone a little bit wide. Is Atom going to dive it down the inside of Mazepin? Not quite. Just not having the best of restarts to try and get past the Ferrari. Ryan's got a 3-second time penalty now. That is crucial for the race. Yes, he's pulled a 1-second gap, but it's not going to be enough. H.O. Nolan's gone spinning round. I'm not sure what happened there. It seems like Atom is getting pressured by Dracker. He's just behind him, so he's got to be careful. Does that Alpine? He's got a very fast Aston Martin lurking in the background. Just have to see what happens there. Otis Beckmars is right on the tail of Mr. Koa, and he's going side by side with the Alfa Romeo down into the chicane. He's gonna get the move stuck, it seems. Yes, he will. Only just though. And here comes Carsey now on them brand new hard tyres. And he's managed to warm them up pretty well, it seems. And he's right on the tail now of Mr. Koa. Oh, that is scary to see. Down the inside goes the Williams. He left it quite late there. Mr. Koa tried to fend it off a little bit, but Carsey was having none of it. He went down the inside, and he's taken 12th place away from the Alfa Romeo. And next on his list is Otis Beckmars, just ahead, but Otis has got them medium tyres on, so it's going to be pretty difficult to get past. Lau is right on the tail of Nick, it seems, in that Ferrari, so we'll see what he can do. Is he going to help his teammate to try and win the championship for them? We'll have to see what he can do. Dracker is right on the tail of Atom still. Zaki very close to the back of Niles. Niall went a little bit wide there, so Zaki's going to have a lot better of an exit than the Mercedes driver. He's not got the DRS just yet. I'm pretty sure, so the DRS not enabled until next lap, so it's going to be pretty difficult for him to try and get past. Carsey just keeping an eye out on his race so far. He's gaining on Otis Beckmars all the way down the straight. He's going to go for the move. Down the inside goes the flying Northern Irishman, and he does get the move stuck. Up into P11 he goes. Next is Scully. Down the inside goes Eli. Oh, I don't think he meant to go down the inside of Monumental though. 3 wide. Oh my god. It seems like Eli gets the switch back. A lot better of an exit as well. And he's got a double overtake up into P13. Seems like Monumental is now side by side with Mr. Koa, who's going to come out on top. It seems like it's going to be Monumental round the outside now of Eli as well on medium tyres compared to hard tyres. But it seems like Eli has got him covered. If P13 stays with the McLaren driver. Got a good old scrap towards the front though, as Nick is slowly losing time to Lau behind, so he's going to be susceptible in a bit. Carsey has got past Jesper. DRS now enabled this lap, so it will make his job a lot easier. Jesper just bleeding places now as Zaki gets past him as well, so maybe a little bit of damage. No, it doesn't seem like it actually from my perspective. So maybe he's just not in the best of shapes right now. It seems like Eli's right on the tail of Otis Beckmars. Is Otis going to get overtaken by yet another driver? Down the inside he goes, and he's going to get the move stuck. What a move from the McLaren driver. It seems like Otis didn't make that too difficult, as Taylor now goes side by side with the Alfa Romeo. It seems like he's going to get ahead. Now Eli's he's susceptible to Monumental behind. Down the inside goes the AlphaTauri. That was too tight, and it seems like Eli's just kept the position, and Otis now is going to have a brilliant exit, and side by side he's going to go with Mr. Koa, who's going to come out on top. It looks like it's going to be the Alfa Romeo for now. Oh, Lau and Nick going side by side, and Nick's made a mistake, and it's allowed Lau to sneak past in that Ferrari up into P2 to make it a Ferrari Driver Academy 1-2. So Scully will be pretty happy with that, but he's made a mistake, and Nick just goes past the Ferrari as if he wasn't even there. Back up into P2 goes the Aston Martin. They're just losing time to Ryan. 3 seconds is what Ryan needs, and if it stays this way, he will not get it. He will only get P2. So that's unfortunate for that penalty. Just keeping an eye on Carsey. He's getting close to the back of Scully, but Scully is right on the tail of Niall, so he's got to be careful that Scully's got to be careful that he's not defending too much, but he's not attacking too much, otherwise he will get the worst out of both ends. Monumental now gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's the third person to do so, so that's unlucky for him. DRS wide open for the Haas, gaining on the Mercedes all the time. Inside or outside, where's he going to switches early? Does the Haas? It doesn't seem like he's going to go for it. Is he? Oh, he's getting a bit hesitant there, is the Haas driver, but he needs to be a lot more precise with his moves because he's got Carsey, a very fast driver, right behind him. DRS wide open for the Haas, gaining on the Mercedes, inside line for the Haas, and he sweeps past the Mercedes up into P7. He goes. It seems like Jesper has just flown past Zaki there. My brain just had a washout for some reason. Anyway, seems like Carsey has got Niall next to tick off his list of drivers to overtake in this race. Mazepin gets a 3-second time penalty. That is crucial. The championship leader right now as it stands has got a 3-second time penalty and will be dropping down quite a few positions, it seems. So that's unfortunate for him. We'll have to see if he can possibly pull out a gap. He's very close to the back of his teammates, so maybe a couple of team orders down at Ferrari. Yellow flag. Oh, Ryan's gone round. Ryan has spun at turn 3 and he's dropped multiple positions. Is he going to get overtaken by Scully and Niall? It doesn't seem like he is. Down the inside though goes the Haas on his fellow Ferrari Driver Academy driver. That's a mouthful. Anyway, it seems like Scully got the move and he got DRS as well, but Ryan has that slipstream. He's going to go down the inside possibly of this Haas. He's got good straight line speed. Does that Alfa Romeo. Down the inside he goes. In the background, Carsey gets Niall. Scully with the switchback. Better exit from the Haas driver. DRS now wide open. Gaining on the Alfa Romeo all the time now. Here comes Carsey. Is he going to want to make it 3 wide? He might do actually. Oh, it's going to be close. Scully gets past the Alfa Romeo. So does Carsey. Down the inside goes Carsey, side by side with these two. We've got Haas versus Williams. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be Haas. P6 is Scully's. Stays ahead of Carsey. Now Eli gets past Taylor with a very nice move, it seems to be, down the inside. All these drivers just separated by a couple of tenths. And Nick is now the new race leader with the halfway point closing in. Carsey's disconnected. Oh no, that's terrible news for the championship contender, and he's going to need an invite back as soon as possible. Lau now gets a 3-second time penalty, so it seems like Nick has got this race in the bag as long as he doesn't get a penalty. Ryan overtakes Carsey. Devastating news for the Williams driver. I'll try and invite him back. I'm not sure if I have him framed actually. Unfortunately, I do not. But yeah, it seems like the Alfa Romeo just... He's had a lot of unlucky moments. He's spun at turn 3 after being in the lead of the race. Here comes Niall about to get past the AI of Carsey there. Real devastating stuff. Down the inside goes... Oh! Jesperb's round. Jesperb's been tagged by someone. I'm not sure who. Might have been Zaki. Zaki's also gone round as well. So maybe them two made a little bit of contact and they've gone round. Niall now gets past Ryan with the help of DRS. So up into P7 goes the Williams, not the Williams, the Mercedes. I'm not sure, but anyway, seems like Scully's in a world of his own. He's seconds ahead. Oh, Carsey is back, it seems, and he's got past Ryan. Same with Taylor. So Ryan has made a mistake and he's dropped down 2 positions. So that's 3 positions now. As Eli now gets past him. I'm not sure what's happened. Just a little bit of a mind block, it seems, for the Alfa Romeo driver. But as it stands, Carsey is your net race leader, as he has boxed onto a new set of hard tyres that it'll be close, but they might make it to the end. Ryan has given up. He has retired from the session. Mazepin now right on the tail of his teammate. No team orders, it seems to be, down at Ferrari just yet. So, both of them have DRS wide open, not gaining on each other at all. But here comes Dracaris. He might be gaining a little bit on the Atom, it seems, but not gaining enough. Look at Mazepin. He's basically pushing that his teammate through these corners, but Nick is now susceptible to the DRS. Here comes Lau, gaining all the time on the Aston Martin. Is he going to dive it down the inside? No, he's just going to stick behind. Thinks better of a move into the banking section. Dracaris is getting close to the back of Atom. It's not close enough to get down the inside. All of these drivers are separated by 1.8 seconds. So all these very, very close together, it seems. We've got Niall, who's trying to defend Taylor, who's on medium tyres just behind him. So that will be hard to do. Obviously, mediums. Oh, Atom gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, that's from the pit lanes. That will definitely get removed. That is unfortunate for him. But the two, Atom and Dracaris, is looking for the undercut on the top three. It seems as Carsey is now back within the DRS range of Scully here. So maybe the Haas has made a little bit of a mistake, and that's allowed Carsey to get within that DRS yet again. I'm going to sneeze. That's me. Anyway, Carsey has that DRS now wide open all the way down the straight. Tell you who else does. The two Ferraris gaining all the time on the Aston Martin, just not gaining enough to go down the inside. Is Carsey gaining enough on the Haas? Not quite. This might be another battle between the Haas driver and the Williams driver. As it stands, Mazepin will have the lead of the championship to Carsey, and it will go down to the final race. Down the inside goes the Williams, and he flies past the Haas. So same with the other Williams of Taylor. So both Williams gaining a position. Seems both of them moving forward together, trying to gain a couple of positions on the rest of the pack. But Niall is going to want to gain that position back on Taylor, it seems. Is anyone coming into the pits? It doesn't seem like they are. Top three stay out. Is Scully going to come into the pits? Yes, he will. Box, 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 says the Haas team. It doesn't seem like he gets a warning for track limits, as that's easy to do. Niall also comes into the pits. Doesn't seem like anyone else will come in just yet, though. So these two trying to get an undercut on the drivers ahead. Carsey now gaining on the top three, it seems. Next person on his checklist is Mazepin, his championship rival. So this could be a crucial move if he manages to get up into P1. It could decide the championship coming down to the final race of the season. DRS wide open for both of the Ferraris. These lot just seem to be sticking with each other and not fighting too much, otherwise they will be losing too much time to the pack. Seems like Zaki is right on the tail of Monumental. DRS wide open for the McLaren driver, gaining on the AlphaTauri, just not enough. Guess who has gained enough? Jesper has. DRS wide open for the Mercedes, and he flew past the Haas, but Otis is now going to have the DRS on this straight. Zaki getting round the outside of Monumental. Is he going to make it McLaren 6-7? It seems like he will, just about. Round the outside. Beautiful move through the hairpin. Oh! Monumental's gone spinning round. That is unfortunate news for the AlphaTauri team, as they're not going to get many points. P11 and P12 now will not be as many points as they will be hoping for. Pardon me. We've got Mazepin gaining all the time. Carsey's teammate Taylor comes into the pits to take off them medium tyres. Seems like Eli has got the best tyres, I'm guessing, as they are the youngest hard tyres on the grid right now. After boxing under the safety car, he's had a brilliant recovery drive, P20 to P5 right now, so this could be an amazing drive. Here comes Lau, though, down the inside of Nick. He's been wanting to make that move the whole race, and he's managed to make it now. Here comes Mazepin. Is he going to get the move? Not quite. but it's Nick's turn to have the DRS on this straight. But he's got to be careful. Mazepin's right behind him, round the outside. What straight line speed has that Ferrari got? ERS flowing through the car, it seems, as Nick has run out. He's under 10%, it seems. So that's unfortunate for Nick. He's lost a lot of time and 2 positions along with it. 8 temps now separate the top 3. Podium as it stands is Lau, Mazepin and Nick, so this could be an interesting race. Dracaris gets past Otis Beckmars into the banking, so a very solid race so far from Dracaris. He's looking to try and get back to the top. Lau comes into the pits, it seems. So, and his teammate Mazepin couldn't come in with him. So it seems like Mazepin has not got the priority in the pit lane, as you'd expect. And he's going to have to box 1 lap later. Carsi now gets onto the podium positions. Eli up into P4. Seems like Zaki and Mr. Koa comes into the pits. Dracaris gets fastest lap of this race. 26.4. Oh no, Scully takes it away with a 26.3. So the Haas team now have the fastest lap. Is Scully going to get past Lau? No, he's not. Dracaris has though. Monumental gets a 3-second time penalty. So that's unfortunate for the AlphaTauri team. Nick seems to have made a mistake, I think, as Carsi's overtaken him. He's lost a lot of time as well. So Carsi now up into P2. And he's going to lose just a couple of points. Nick now is getting overtaken by Eli, it seems. Oh, contact! Nick's gone round. But he's managed to catch it. And he's still in P4. So unlucky from the Aston Martin driver. He's lost a lot of time now. So he's definitely going to be behind. It seems like he's going to be Niall and Scully, who's going to be ahead. But Dracaris getting close to the back of Atom now. So we'll see what happens when these two go side by side, possibly onto the next straight. But they've got Lau right behind him, the previous race leader. It seems like Mazepin has come into the pits. Mazepin in the pit lane now. So we'll see what he can do. Carsi now takes the lead of this race. So he is now leading the championship by quite a few points. Zaki gets a penalty. Eli gets up into P2. Brilliant drive so far. 18 positions gained for the McLaren driver. He's had an absolute mad race so far. Atom up into P3. Dracaris P4. Lau P5. But it's looking like Lau is wanting to get past these lot. He's had a brilliant undercut on his teammate who's just coming out of the pit lane now. So that's unfortunate for Mazepin, as he had to give priority to his teammate. Down the inside goes Dracaris, as it seems like Atom has disconnected. So that is unfortunate for him, and he's losing a lot of time now. It seems like Dracaris will go to the end of this race. Here comes Lau round the outside, flies past the Aston Martin up into P3. He's now got to catch up 5 seconds to Eli, and then 7 seconds if he wants to win this race. Taylor getting past Niall, it seems, but Niall will have that DRS all the way down this next straight to get back past the Williams driver. His teammate is in P1 right now, but it seems like Niall is gaining all the time. Is he going to go inside or outside? Seems like he's going to stay behind. Oh no, he's going to go outside line, but he's going to get a switchback move, possibly on the Williams. Yes, he will. Is he going to get a better exit? No, he's not. Well, yes, he will actually. Is he going to challenge around the outside? Not quite. So he's just going to have to stick behind for yet another lap. Mazepin is trying to catch up to the back of Dracaris, but wow, Lau has knocked out 2 seconds, and he's got the fastest lap of the race. He's knocked out 2 seconds to Carsi and Eli, so maybe this is not all done yet. Maybe Lau can steal that race win back away from Carsi and Eli. These two possibly going to the end of this race. It'll be close. Zaki gets the fastest lap. That's what I expected. Possibly using quite a bit of his ERS and DRS to get it. Scully gaining on the Alpine, who's just come out of AI mode after being disconnected. DRS wide open for the Haas, gaining on the Alpine all the time, down into the chicane. Is there going to be any move? Not quite. Just got to wait another lap wait a chicane before he can possibly try it into the banking. He's already made a move like this before. DRS wide open for the Haas, gaining on the Alpine all the time down this straight. He's not gaining enough to get past though. He's gonna have to stick behind for yet another lap. Lau is absolutely flying around. He's gaining 2 seconds lap on the top 2. There is Eli already, so you can see the amount of gain that they are getting on these new medium tyres. Oh, Taylor's crashed. That might warrant the safety car to come out. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a safety car, it seems. We'll have to see. He's kind of on the racing line, blocking the track a little bit. It doesn't look like it's going to be a safety car just yet. Mazepin gets a fastest lap now. So he is chewing into the advantage that these two ahead of him have. Look at Lau now. He's right on the tail of Eli. Eli seems to be holding up a bit. And he's just going to let him by to get that DRS. Down the inside he might go. Not quite. Yellow flag. That is monumental that's gone round. It's been a terrible race so far from the AlphaTauri team. DRS though. Wide open for Draki. He's gaining on the McLaren it seems. Inside or outside, or is he going to stick behind? He's going to stick behind for now. Both drivers flashing a little bit. Mazepin gaining all the time as well. So they've got to be careful of him as well. This could be a championship defining race for Mazepin. Here comes Draki, gaining on the McLaren, not gaining enough to go side by side. Oh, Eli's gone deep though, and down the inside goes Draki, slips on by, does the Aston Martin. Mazepin goes wide there, so he's lost a little bit of time to the 3 in front of him, but he brakes quite a bit late and gains that time all back. He's now getting held up by Eli. Excuse me. Oh, I forgot about this. Lau has a penalty. Sector 2, there's a yellow flag. It's Monumental who's gone spinning again, now letting his teammate by. Carsey could have this race in the bag if he can get them tyres to the end of the race. Mazepin gets past Eli now, and Eli just bleeding positions it seems. I'm just going to check. I can't even check it. Never mind. My phone's dead. Eli gets another 3-second time penalty, but his first one might get removed as long as he don't get a couple more warnings, because he got the first one in the pit lane. DRS wide open for Draki. He's gaining on the Ferrari, but he's not gaining enough to get down the inside just yet. He's going to have to wait a couple of laps for a couple of laps time. Side by side with the two AlphaTauris, it seems like Monumental is ahead of the two. We've got Scully right on the back of Atom. It seems like he might be able to make the move into the next sequence of corners. Possibly. Just doesn't look close enough just yet. Carsey still in the lead of this race, but he's got to manage them tyres. They do look shot. They might be able to make the end of this race. He's having to manage them quite well, but he's losing time. He's absolutely bleeding time actually to the guys behind him. Side by side between Nick and Zaki Boy. Round the outside goes the McLaren, banging tyres a couple of times there. Down the inside now goes not Draki, freaking Zaki, and it seems like he's got the move done. A lot of tyre banging between the two. Nick will not be happy about that one whatsoever, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, Carsey's got to be careful. Lau is catching quite a bit per lap. Oh, Mazepin's gone round. Mazepin has spun at the exit of turn 3, so that could decide the championship coming towards the end of next week's race. We'll have to see what happens though, so you never know. Anything out of the blue could happen. But here comes Draki. He's gaining on Lau, but he's not gaining enough to make that move just yet. So it's going to be a tight one, but it seems like Carsey is on for a podium if he can keep them tyres going till the end of the race. DRS wide open for Draki. He's gaining on the Ferrari, so he's not going to be able to go down the inside though, unfortunately. So we're not going to have some side-by-side action just yet. But here we go then. Mazepin, Atom and Scully all within DRS of each other. So we'll have to see what happens there. But Eli is up the road as well, so it will be a 4-way battle for 4th place if it keeps going like this. And at the moment everyone is scoring points, because in IFC points go down to the top 15. If everyone finishes the race, they will be scoring points. Mazepin practically pushing Eli through these corners now. He's losing time to the two people behind him. Eli is just being a little bit of a bottleneck right now, but he's allowed to do it. There's no rule saying that he has to let him by. It seems like Eli's defending very well here from the championship contender. Round the outside though, what a move by Mazepin. He's got it stuck, and it seems like, oh, Eli down the inside, very late braking there from the McLaren, but Mazepin tried the switch back, but he didn't manage to get it going. And DRS now wide open for Atom. He's gaining, and he's about to overtake the Ferrari and possibly even get the McLaren as well. Down the inside, possibly. Oh, it's going to be tight. Eli just about leaves the space, but it seems like Atom is just going to have to stick behind for a little while. But Mazepin not happy with that whatsoever. He's just lost two positions there. He's just lost a position. Here comes Atom flying past the McLaren down the inside at the banking. He's managed to make the move stick on some medium tyres there. So, oh, and here comes Mazepin now. Mazepin's just got the move done on Eli as well. So Eli bleeding positions down the inside now. Oh my gosh, that was close. Oh, Eli. Oh, big crash. Big crash. Eli was trying to go down the inside of Mazepin. Mazepin left no space at all, and they spun, and then Scully hit them. So Scully's now got front wing damage, and he's possibly going to have to come into the pits to repair that. He's going to stay out. He's going to have to deal with it till the end of the Grand Prix. So that's unfortunate for him. And Mazepin is still behind Eli. This is absolutely devastating news for Mazepin. He's just bleeding time to the guys ahead of him. So Mazepin is having a nightmare right now. He can't get past this McLaren, who's just defending for his life right now. He's got to do it for a couple more laps if he wants to keep the position. But Mazepin brakes a lot later than Eli did, and he's got past. So maybe Mazepin's nightmare is over, or is it? Because now Eli has the DRS down this straight. It doesn't seem like either of them have ERS to play around with. Is he going to go down the inside? Oh, it gets blocked off a little bit. Does the McLaren switchback move from the from Eli there, but he's riding the curb too much there, and he's lost all of his momentum, and now he will not get the move on Mazepin. Mazepin finally passed that McLaren, whose defending was absolutely sublime. Scully now under pressure from Niall behind. He's got front wing damage, and Niall's going to be careful. Round the outside he's going to go, possibly. He gets blocked off a little bit by Scully, and it seems like Niall has just got past the pass, obviously, as he's got some front wing damage. Nolan gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately for him. Carsey's losing time still to Lau, but he's got to be careful because there's 4 laps remaining. 2.5 seconds is all that separates them. But Lau has got that penalty, so 5.5 seconds is basically what separates them. As long as Carsey doesn't get a puncture, which he might well do, because as you can see, these tyres do not look their best at all. There we go. The tyres do not look good for Carsey whatsoever yet. So this could be not the best race so far from Carsey. Might not be the best strategy call from the Williams driver. Here comes Nick now getting past Scully. Scully just losing time and positions with that front wing damage that he got from the collision between Mazepin and Eli. Now he's under pressure from Zaki as well behind him, but he's got the DRS on Nick, gaining on the Aston Martin all the time. His Otis Beckmars gets the fastest lap of the race. He's watching his teammate right now down the inside. He goes, oh, brake, super late, and Nick has had to take to the escape road. 10-second time penalty that will surely get removed. Here comes Niall now, right on the tail of Eli. DRS wide open for the Mercedes, gaining on the McLaren down the inside, and he's managed to get the move stuck, unlike what Mazepin had to do compared to him. It seems like Zaki has got past Scully there, and Nick will surely get that 10-second time penalty removed, because I'm not sure what happened there, but I think Scully just had he went a little bit too deep and made contact with Nick, so Nick had to go off the track. Here we go then. Lau within the DRS of Carsey. Carsey will have to defend for his life if he wants to keep this first place and extend his championship lead to Mazepin. Speaking of Mazepin, he's right on the tail of Atom, so there's 2 battles that we're going to try and keep an eye out, along with Jesper on the back of Scully, but that will surely end very soon. Here comes Lau now, DRS wide open for the Ferrari, gaining on the Williams all the time. Jesper gets past Scully, and it doesn't seem like Lau is close enough to get down the inside or round the outside. And it seems like, oh, who's gone round? That is Scully. Scully's gone round. Here comes Lau now. DRS wide open round the outside, and it's going to be a slam dunk move up into P1. Finally, Mazepin gets past Atom as well, but oh, they spit. Mazepin has a half spin, and Mazepin's out. Oh my gosh, this could decide the championship. Mazepin is out of the race after having just a slight tap off the wall, and that could be championship over for Mazepin if Kasi can take this race win. How much penalties does... Oh, there's an AlphaTauri going slow. Penalties. Seems like Lau has only got 3 seconds, but that could get removed as he got that 3 seconds, I'm pretty sure, from the pit lane. So that will definitely get removed as Nick has now gone round, it seems, at the exit of the banking there. So, oh, he's left the session. So, obviously, Nick not having a best of days whatsoever. 15 seconds is what separates the top 3 from the rest of the pack. Speaking of the top 3, here comes Dracuris. He's about to overtake Kasi down the inside or around the outside. He's going to go. It seems like he's going to have to stay behind. Nolan has retired. Atom's in the pits. I'm not sure what's happened there. He might have a little bit of damage. Oh, big snap there from Dracuris. He's lost a lot of time. DRS wide open for the Aston Martin. Gaining on the Williams all the time down this straight. Is he gaining enough? Not quite. So it seems like, oh, so close to making contact there. Kasi just struggling on them hard tyres. Big slide from Dracuris as well, so he will not get the run on the Williams driver just yet. We've got Mercedes powered cars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So all of them bar 1 are in the top 7, it seems. So Mercedes Driver Academy having a brilliant race, it seems, right now. Dracuris still on the tail of Kasi, but Kasi needs to get a move on because 7 tenths, or if Lau pulls another 7 tenths, he will win this race. So it seems like Lau is possibly going to take this victory back to Maranello. But it's unfortunate for his teammate that he is out of the session. Kasi having to defend for his life against Dracuris. Is he going to go inside or outside? Seems like Dracuris is just going to stay behind for now. He's waiting for that DRS. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he will get past this Williams that's been ahead for quite a few laps. Kasi might as well get a puncture on this lap. So this could decide the championship if he gets third or second. Little bit of a point gap between the two. DRS wide open for Dracuris, gaining on Kasi. Round the outside he's going to go, but Kasi will have that inside line, and he might just want to back out to get that DRS all the way down this next straight. And he does have a little bit of ERS to play around with as well. Meanwhile, Dracuris is flashing. ERS flowing through Kasi's car. DRS wide open, gaining on Dracuris all the time. Down the inside goes Kasi. He's just flown past that Aston Martin, but there's still a sector to go before we can tell who's going to come out on top between these two, Kasi or Dracuris. Who's going to come second place in this race? We'll have to see, but it's going to be Lau coming around the penultimate corner now. He's had a brilliant race. He had to catch up Kasi after he was ahead after he boxed, but Lau is going to take the race win here in Abu Dhabi, the penultimate round of the season. Kasi is going to come around the final corner to take P2 and just stay ahead of Dracuris. What a drive from Kasi. He's managed to get hard tyres, 25 laps. What a stint by the Williams driver. Niall is going to come home in P4, just ahead of Zaki in P5. Eli with an amazing drive, 23 laps done on them hard tyres in P... Oh, he's dropping down positions though. So Jesper P6, Mr. Koa P7, Eli P8. Seems like it's going to be Atom in P9. But what a race from Lau, it seems. He's had an absolutely amazing drive. Try and get these in. So there we go then, that is the race over and done with. Lau wins it after having to catch up a monumental gap to Kasi, but it's them tyres just dropped off towards the end. Kasi in the lead of the championship now by 30 points, it seems. So possibly he could take the championship home with He's got one race to take it, and he could be crowned champion of Season 7 here. But it is Lau, the race winner of tonight. He's had an absolutely amazing race, and he comes home in P1, takes the victory back to Maranello for the team in red. What a drive from him. Carsey comes home P2 and possibly takes home the championship with 1 round left. 30 points is what separates Mazepin and Carsey, so it'll be very hard for Mazepin to get back ahead of Carsey. But there we go then. Dracary's P3 as well, so he's had a brilliant drive. And that is the race over and done with. It's been an absolute pleasure watching this race. But Lau comes home P1 at the end of it after starting in P3 on the grid. Carsey with a brilliant drive, a brilliant strategy, coming home in P2. Dracary's P3, Niall P4, Zaki P5, Jesper P6, Mr. Cole P7, Eli P8, Atom P9, Beckmars P10, Monumental P11, Scully P12, Nick P13, Mazepin P14, Nolan P15, Taylor P16, Ryan P17, Croaky P18, Lauda P19, and FZ P20. So, that rounds off the penultimate round of IFC. Let's see if we can get some drivers in for interviews. It doesn't seem like we will just say. Oh, we got Niall actually. Of all the people that could join. There we go then. The race over and done with. And Lau takes home the victory in P1. Niall. Niall. Yeah, I know. So it's you then. We're just going to interview you, it seems. What? Oh. I forgot about that because... anyway, it's been an absolutely amazing race. I'm not sure how it went from your POV. Can you take us through the entire race? On your
entire race? Right. Oh, the race was so... Mate, my room, it feels like a sauna at the minute. It's ridiculous. The Xbox Series X is overheating quite a lot. But the race, I started P7. I fell down to P11 at the start because I was so worried because my TV said it was going to turn off in 5 minutes. I restarted my TV, and then the first thing I see is Croaky in the wall, as usual. Like Croaky, he spun on the exit, and his rear tire hit the wall, and I thought it was the most predictable Croaky crash ever. Then absolutely nothing happened. I definitely did not have a throttle glitch. No talk about that though. And then Carsey and Eli did an interesting strategy. They were in a...
I mean, it worked out for them.
Yeah. Eli was blocking everyone.
I can tell. Mazepin was getting frustrated. He was behind Eli for multiple laps.
Yeah. My cat's just waking up. Then I found myself getting attacked by Taylor. Well, actually, I missed out. I almost crashed into AJ Nolan. Out of everyone, it's AJ Nolan in front of me. He always just spins, you know. Classic AJ Nolan spin, just sideways. Then nothing happened. Then I pitted for mediums. It felt like a whole of a Formula 0. Then Taylor got me. Then Taylor spun, as usual, hit the wall hard. No safety car, surprisingly. Then, important, Eli has a whole train of people, and going into the hotel section as I'm everyone collided with each other, lost a bit of time. Scully had front wing damage, and I was just stuck for 2 DRS zones behind him, and I eventually got past him on exit of the banking. He had end plate missing. Then I was just sat there. Eli let me through, as usual. And I told him I'm going to catch Atom and Dingy Majiggy Mazepin. And then they fuck each other in the wall. and Mazepin crashes, and Carsey's reaction was gold.
I was about to ask what was his reaction.
My reaction was a bit more for him actually, but he was very happy. So I was in P4, and then I told Eli to back off Nick, and I had a collision, of course, because classic. And yeah, I almost got another couple laps. Maybe Saki would have beaten me, but overall, I'm very happy with P4. I've got a good gap with Jesberg now, in Championship. Unfortunately, Jack Reese came P3, beating me, so it'll be very close in the final race. Yeah, Carsey second. He just managed to hold him off. He was happy with that.
Yeah, I think for sure that's 29 or 30 points. I'm pretty sure it's 29.
29 for second, 25 for third. So now Mazepin has to.
He has to win.
Yeah, a second or first.
He needs to win. So he either needs to win.
If Carsey scores more than 8 points or something in a race, which is P10 or
7
something
points.
like that.
He needs to score 7 points or more, which is
something like
15,
that. Yeah.
15's 1. Then we've got
no countback, so it'll be 8. It'll be 8.
Yeah. What?
It'll be 8 because if you call 7, and Mazepin wins, whatever. Countback. Mazepin has more wins. Our first safety car. We've got 3 races and only had 1 safety car. That's interesting.
Anyway.
And of course, it was Crookie's safety car. Of course.
Of course it was. Anyway, we're going to end the stream there. It's been a thriller of a race. Penultimate round of the season. We've got one more round to go before we can tell who the champion is. It's pretty clear already, actually. But you never know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. We'll have to see what happens at the Circuit of Britain in Silverstone.
Circuit of Britain.
So we'll see what happens there. Can Mazepin get the championship, or will Carsey manage to fend him off and win it? We'll have to see next week. We've got Tier 3 first, then Tier 2, and then Tier 1 on the Sunday. So join in for Tier 3 on the Friday. I'm guessing Niall's going to be commentating on that.
Yeah, I think so.
God damn it. Anyway, we'll see you then. And that's it, really.